Gentlemen, welcome to your SWL. It is your boy Bandit coming to you again tonight. If you were just with me for the AJCL, we just casted the St. Louis Night Stalkers versus the boys over on Kansas City Kings, but we are back again here with the SWL for the night, as it is Losers Finals. Winner goes to Losers Finals here for our playoff bracket to then play for a spot against our boys, the Tampa Bay Baddies, in the Grand Finals. Two teams, two different roads to get here. R1 unfortunately did drop back in winners round 2, and New Mexico dropped. Both teams actually dropped to Tampa Bay earlier in the bracket. One in round 2, the other in round 3. So, getting ready for our losers semifinals here. Both teams very, very strong. Both teams ready to rumble. Going to be an interesting match, especially for the fact that, again, both teams wanting to get back to that grand final spot so they can take on Tampa Bay and get their revenge. So it is going to be a fun matchup to watch. So it will be fun to see how this match goes. I'm excited to see. So it is going to be fun to see how this all goes, everybody. I'm excited. I hope you guys are. Taka! Sorry about that, y'all. My dog is being a dog. So it's going to be fun, though. I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward to see how this game's going to play out. What? I'll be right back, y'all. One more game and I'm going to get dinner. What do you want? Shouldn't take that long. Should take no more than an hour. What are you wanting? What? Yeah. Don't do that. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are on Hacienda for map 1. Both teams have been relatively strong here. So we'll see how this one goes. Gonna be exciting to see how this semifinals movement gets underway. Like I said, both teams have lost to Tampa Bay, so both teams fighting for their chance to play against the Seattle Legion for Losers Finals. All of R1 getting ready, though, pushing up, does get control of the kill first. Pappy with the first kill, Spider with one, but does end up falling to Cod Bob. Agent Cooked is on the receiving end of that one. Safi, Modify, and Cod Bob all having to be subbed in, as most of New Mexico unfortunately has been missing. But R1 having the initial push and the initial lead. New Mexico trying to fight back in this, though, down by only a few seconds. They do end up taking control here, though, off the P1. R1 trying to get onto the rotation, though. getting set up in this water route. Unfortunately, though, Emotify does catch it raw, catches one, though, and continues to hold this P1 as it has been a back and forth P1 moment. Gonna be only a second ahead here, though. R1 is going to have the rotation, though, and the initial setup, but it is broken immediately. New Mexico able to break through 21-18, but again, R1 there for the cleanup once more to get themselves back in it, taking a small lead and trying to grow it a little more than 5 seconds, but nobody able to get a major foothold. Pappy with 3, trying to open it up for his team. 30-27, back and forth it's been these past 2 hills. No one able to get much of anything going. Codbob, Raw, Agent, Pappy all trading kills. R1 eventually does gain control, but only has about a 6-second lead. Unfortunately, Raw going to lose that fight to Sappy as she continues to roll here, getting the lead back here for New Mexico. Going back and forth, 45-37. Rotation is key here. R1 already on it. Unfortunately, loses one and ends up giving up the hill. New Mexico on it. New Mexico has the setup. They're just trying to hold. One gonna go down up top. Spider getting a Modify. A Modify, though. Or I guess it's not a Modify. Pappy dropping to Spider on the back end, trying to drop a few. Cap shot with one as well. Cap shot, though, does get turned on. A Modify holding down the hill. Agent gets taken down. 4 dead in the feed. New Mexico continues to hold, has the biggest lead so far of the game at 35 seconds. New Mexico starting to take on a strong performance, but the rotation for R1 is solid as they are already getting set up at this P4. They are going to give up the rest of this time and at least try to get a solid setup here for P4. Do end up getting the first kill off the break. New Mexico trying to get a little bit of a rotation on here. A little bit slowed down, though. Spider does get caught in mid. Cap shot, though, for the trade. Cap shot with a second one. Codbob goes down. 2v4, 2v2, 2v3-ish situation here. One top office does end up getting a little bit of a distraction going, but not enough. And Pappy comes in with a kill, but R1 continues to hold it. But they are down by 40 seconds. New Mexico breaks in, though. New Mexico starting to hold this. All 4 people here on the hill trying to hold the blood spill that is going on right now for this hill, not in the favor of R1. New Mexico continues to hold it. Codbob not giving it up with ease, but unfortunately does end up falling, but with only 17 seconds left. New Mexico focused more on this P1. No, they're not. They're focused on gaining the rest of this scrap time, knowing that P1 can be rather scrappy. But 2 people from R1 are going to push this old hill, try to get this kill. They're just not dying. Codbob with the kill on Agent, and Pappy there for the trade. Raw goes down 113-56. Off the first rotation, New Mexico with all the E-subs able to take a strong advantage here off the rip. Modify coming up. A Modify with one. Pappy, Modify, and Codbob all in it to win it. Right now, New Mexico sitting on the hill. All of R1 spawning on this tin side, trying to get across the map, trying to get set up for this P2, but also take as much time off this P1 as they can. 4 dead in the feed. New Mexico all spawning boat side, one by one, trying to get across. 4-man hit through this rock side. Raw going to get overwhelmed. Someone's got to rotate back to him. He's going to get chased out. 2 finally do start rotating to the side door. They do get the initial win, but New Mexico does get one on the trade. A Modify with 1. The help is here for New Mexico as they are pushing across from rock. The turn, not going to be enough. Spider does end up dropping Pappy. Cap shot holding this time. R1, a niche getting the initial. Down by a little under 40 seconds here. We're coming up on 40 seconds. Trying to get back in this. Dropping that lead just hill by hill. 29-second lead here. They can get back in this game on this money hill. New Mexico starting to fall apart here just a little bit, or R1 starting to heat up. Don't know which. It could be a mix of both. The blood spill, though, for this P2 is back and forth. 10, so within 19 seconds here to take a lead if you are R1. But the New Mexico Slaughter do end up breaking through, getting a little bit of the scrap time here. Does end up falling is a Modify as they continue to hold a small lead going into this P3. Modify, Pappy, and Codbob all in on this kill feed right now. Modify, or Pappy trying to get another, does get the clear. That is 4 dead in the feed for your R1 Gaming. Capshot in the back, Capshot gets dropped. A Modify not giving up that back line, not letting R1 through. R1 trying to find him. Modify drops, Spider is through. Pappy gets one, Spider with the trade. Pappy with another. Pappy goes down, but Codbob there for the trade as well. Multi-kill out of Spider. Codbob with another one. Codbob not giving it up. Agent finally able to drop him, but the trade's in favor right now of New Mexico. Pappy takes down 2, including his teammate in that 2-piece. Spider with another. Does get the rest of the scrap time. New Mexico needs to get on this rotation. R1 has been ahead of them every time, but it doesn't seem to matter. New Mexico able to get the trades to get the break. It does not matter right now for R1. Nothing going in their favor. As New Mexico Slaughter just absolutely holding on some of these breaks. R1's got to fix their holes as it is just not working. Whatever they are doing right now, Raw though on a huge flank does drop 2. That's going to help if he can continue to do that. All of R1 sitting on this hill. The flank is in. Modify knows better than to try to take that gunfight. Codbob there, Modify there, Pappy with 1, Codbob with 1, Pappy does go down though. Agent gets cooked, Raw with 2, but just in the nick of time, you've got help there from Pappy. And Spider in for the fight to go down for him. 20-second lead here for your New Mexico Slaughter. 3 in the feed go the R1 Gaming boys. 4 dead just like that. New Mexico continues to hold. New Mexico not going to let R1 get through with an easy victory, forcing this game to another set of rotations. Poppy, a Modify, both in the feed. Spider with 2, Spider with 3, not wanting to give this game up that easily. Spider though does go down to a Modify, and he just continues to be on a tear. 31 and 19 with a minute and 19 seconds on the hill. Modify is everything right now for New Mexico. 190 to 154.1 on the 3rd rotation, and we might peak 200 points already for New Mexico. The push for P2 though is coming in for R1 as they are trying to get a little bit ahead of the game. Not going to work in their favor as that is 4 dead in the feed. They are spawning 10. I don't know that New Mexico knows this. Actually, number 7 is going to pick it up. It looks like it's Codbob picking up on the 3. They're going to be pushing through well here. He's trying to stay alive. Gets 1. That's a Modify. A Modify on that side. Agent gets it. Does clear him though, but ends up falling. Capture happy coming mid. Raw 1v1. Modify wins it over Spider, and so does Pappy over Raw. It is just going back and forth for these 2 teams. 215 to 157. R1, you gotta go faster. Sassy gonna try to pick up this waterside spawn. Not gonna happen. A Modify Pappy trying to continue to hold this. 220 to 157. It can be 1 here. It can in fact be 1 here on this P2. R1 has got to go. R1 has got to start winning some gunfights. It all comes down to this push. They didn't contest long enough. You gotta go, R1. You cannot give up this much time. And in that scuffle though, it does get pushed to a hill number 4, or 3 I mean. So, R1 still alive in this game. New Mexico, R1 going to be battling for this P3. This P3 means everything for R1 if they want to keep their map hopes alive to take this map 1. Safi or Codbob in the back right now. Agent gets cooked. Modify, Codbob both in the feed. They're coming up. They're coming up raw. Only one last alive. A Modify takes care of him, which is actually Pappy. All 4 of them. New Mexico sitting there. 5 seconds needed for the win. They're not giving it easy. A Modify with 3 in the feed. Spider goes down, unfortunately, closest member right now. 2 seconds needed for the map win. New Mexico continues to push it. Map 1 is over. New Mexico taking the first map by storm. New Mexico coming out to make a statement here on map 1. Again, majority of them being E-subs, not even the normal New Mexico roster. Making an absolute statement series here on map 1, R1, battling back from behind now for the rest of this series. Cannot let New Mexico gain that much momentum off map 1. It's going to all come down to this search and destroy and who can get that momentum back. Will New Mexico continue to hold it, or will R1 end up taking this search and destroy and gaining that momentum back in their corner? 2 minutes and 38 kills out of a Modify. Absolute banger of a map out of him. Can he keep that up? We'll find out going into this next one. It is going to be so good to see how this map goes here for map 2. I think we are staying on Hossie as well. So we'll see how it goes for your boys in red. Or purple, I mean. Your boys in red are doing fine right now. So here we go, y'all. Going into map number 2, it is a 1-0 lead right now for your boys of New Mexico. Raw and company trying to turn it around here, staying on Hacienda. Let's see what R1 can do. Spider going to end up taking bomb. We'll hop on here with Safi. I don't believe this is actually Safi. I think this is actually Cod Bob. So I think they're 1 number each under each person that they are on. But just in the nick of time, we're going to have a couple of trades 2v2. I think it is Pappy and Modify are the last 2 alive. Could be wrong. Capshot and Sprawl. Pappy takes 1. Just down to your boy. Capshot though, unfortunately, does go down. New Mexico with the first round of the search and destroy. The Slaughter are here to do just that. R1 Gaming just not able to get enough bullets in for Capshot to win the round. Man, it's getting close here on map 2. Hopefully, anyway. Agent, only one so far without a kill on his team. On the other side, it is Cod Bob. Or Safi, I mean. Without a kill. Cod Bob is going to take bomb. So it is. Everyone's 1 under what they're supposed to be. So Safi is actually the unnamed player in this kill feed. The Modify getting into the mix. Safi gets 1. A Modify gets the other. Raw with the trade onto Pappy. So a Modify is out of this. Or Pappy is out of the round. So he's going to have to hope that his team can pull it together. Safi goes down. Cod Bob goes down. It's all on to a Modify here. So he has got to pull off the 1v1 now. It was a 1v2. He's going to back up a little bit here. Trying to find Spider. Spider going to be rotating through bottom line. I think that door just gave him up though. As Modify sitting your top area, watching that office zone. As top office, Modify unfortunately gets mowed down. Can Spider get there in time? It may be too close. He does get it though with a second left to his name. The defuse does come in with 0.3 left on that clock. R1 Gaming does gain a round back here. Round 3, going to be interesting to see who can take it, as it has gone to both defenses on this map. So can one team break that curse? Because at this point, if I remember correctly, defense ending would be for New Mexico. So you have to be able to get the kills here if you are R1. Don't let them get to defense again for that final map, or for that final round. Right now, though, R1 catching everybody off guard here. But Safi and Pappy, or Codbob, both catching a kill here. Codbob gonna go down, but Spider unfortunately does fall to Pappy. So, just like that, R1 ends up getting the trades, I guess. Didn't realize that was coming. Raw with the final kill, holding his team in this S&D, going into round 4. R1 starting to look like they're back in action here for map 2. Wasn't able to get anything going map 1, but that is the unfortunate fact about Respawn. You have somebody who can sit, heal, and slay. More often than not, they're going to end up winning it. So, getting into this search and destroy, where is one life meets all. Raw gonna push up here on this B side, but it looks like it is a heavy push for New Mexico on this A side. Spider gets one on to Modify. Safi trying to find this player. She's going to get out with her life. Or actually, I think it's Cod Bob trying to get out with his life right now. Raw does take down Pappy. Pappy being the only one, or I think it's a Modify actually who's last alive. I'm not sure. But 2 people up. We'll see how this goes for New Mexico. Agent trying to get pushed up here. Does end up catching Safi off guard. Codbob down. But I think that's actually Safi. I don't know how this whole glitch works. Pappy is last alive, so all on to Pappy here to gain the last kill. Last 4 kills. He's got to ace this round to win it for his team. Not gonna probably happen. Nope, there it is. R1 up 3-1. Going into the 4th round here. Or 5th round, I mean. R1 regaining the momentum here. Trying to keep their playoff dreams alive and not with their backs against the wall. Trying to keep it close. Trying to make sure nobody keeps them counted out. So here we go. Cap Shot, Spider, and company going to be pushing up. It looks like a 4-man hit through bottom P1. Trying to make sure Cap Shot does get 1 for the trade. Cap Shot with 2. It's getting crazier. Spider with 3. Codbob last alive has to ace. Codbob has to ace to get the win. The Spider sitting here helping, waiting for this person to hit from top mid. Hoping to see what he needs to get this kill. He's going to back up to back well, hoping that his teammate was able to get it, but no. Cap Shot unable to win that gunfight. It's all down to Codbob versus Spider. 1v1. Oh my goodness, Codbob able to pull it off the 1v2. Too strong for Codbob as he finishes off R1 and gets the defuse. A little overconfidence on the side of R1, and he finally pulls it back. Man, R1 is absolutely terrorized for something like that. Can't believe that happened. Can't let it happen again. But we'll see what happens going into round number 6. Safi, unfortunately, getting taken down. 2-3. 2v1, the kills just came too fast. You can't keep up with a kill feed going that quick, my friends. Spider going to be trying to get the flank on, though, hoping to catch two of these guys caught off guard. I don't know that's going to happen. Both are going to turn. One's going to chow, and it's going to go his direction. New Mexico Slaughter tie it up 3-3. Absolutely insane from New Mexico, as they are just going to get up in everybody's grill. But back and forth we go here on map 2. Tied at 3 apiece. Everyone trying to get that bomb. We're all going to be the one to come out with it. R1 going to be pushing, it looks like, for a mid push again, as they are going to try to get through this bottom mid. Spider hitting straight up into top blue. He's not going to see the person laying top closed. Oh, the timing. Cop gets 2, though, on the other side. Spider, he's got to win this one. Doesn't win it. Cop with 3. He's on for the ace, and Pappy, though, there for the kill. New Mexico Slaughter bring it back with 3 in a row. 4-3. New Mexico won. Raw just caught in a bad situation there. Caught in the middle of 2. You had Cod Bob waiting for the ace to come out. Man, it's crazy up in this joint right now. Losers semis getting better than the losers finals might be. Can't believe I'm saying that, but it may just happen. 4-3 New Mexico pushing on. Pappy has the bomb. Going for what looks like an A push. We're going to hop on with Safi here. See what she can do. Or Cod Bob, I guess. Modify and Safi both with the kill. Spider and Raw out of the play. Capshot and Agent, last 2 alive. 4 and 6 out of both of them. You're going to need a little bit more out of them than that to go ahead and win this round. 5 and 6 out of Agent. He's going to go down to Pappy. All down to 1 top cat. Capshot has to get out with his life. 2v1 situation, and you have to defuse bomb. You have to hope you can catch these guys. One's going on the hunt, the other one playing the bomb site. Capshot trying to push through this top mid. He's gonna go top close. I think he might get caught here. Doesn't end up going top close. Top close pushing out towards the plat, trying to get the turn. Doesn't get it. New Mexico 1 point away from map point. 1 point away from being on match set point. All they need to do is win this next round. That puts them up 2 maps to 0. That would move them on to your losers finals. R1 has to turn it around right here. Gain some momentum back if they want any kind of hope to continue their life in this tournament. Raw and Spider doing what they can. Spider specifically has been their top slayer right now. He needs a little bit of assistance here from Capshot and Agent. Raw doing what he could in that respawn. Capshot starting off this round right. Gets the first blood. Has a teammate Spider with 1. Capshot with another. And man, that round was quick. R1 Gaming taking that round by storm. Round 10 inbound with only a, I think, 15 to 20 second round there. Here for this one. I believe, if I could be wrong, there's a muzzle on that AR for that pro variant. I could be wrong though, but I don't think anything's been said yet. But here we go into this round. Capshot going to be the one we're going to hop on with here. See how he does this round. Gonna back up towards office. Going B here. B bomb is going to end up going down. Nobody able to see this. Bomb does get planted successfully. NMO gonna get out with their life with a trophy down. Pappy takes down Spider, who did take down a Modify. Modify being one of the top slayers. Capshot goes down. 2v3 situation. 1v3 situation. It's all on Agent. Agent gets 1, but traded out immediately. 2 maps to 0. backs are against the wall right now, R1. You got to turn it around right here in this control. We all know it's a swing mode, but this is where it's going to count the most if you want to move on to that losers finals. I know they can do it. I've seen them do it before. New Mexico coming out hot though, maps 1 and 2. Absolute insanity coming out for both teams. Absolutely cannot believe this right now. New Mexico with all the E-subs absolutely handling business right now on their side, making, although that map 2 a little bit closer probably than they would have liked. Yeah, but like I said, you cannot count R1 out yet. Respawn has been kind of their bread and butter. So hopefully for these guys, they're hoping that turning it around right here in this control will be good for them. Both teams on a absolute tear right now, both fighting for their life to make it to losers finals to play Seattle. Again, both teams, all three teams actually fighting this right now for their spot in the grand finals, all lost to Tampa. So those are your top 4 being in the if you're fighting for top 4, you've lost to Tampa Bay. That shows how good you are. All three teams that are in losers right now could or could not be in losers. We caught them on a bad day, possibly. I mean, these guys, all three of these teams fighting for this second or this last spot in grand finals. Any of them can turn on. Any of them. It's fantastic to watch. This is top tier Savage World League COD right now. R1. Let's see what you guys can do here. Top plays coming out here for Spider and Raw. They needing just a little bit of help out of Agent and Cap Shot. These two pop off. More than likely we're going to map 4. And it's looking good right now for R1s. They are already starting to get some time on A. Trying to get this tick. A Modify though with a 3-piece Cap Shot. Finally shutting him down. Spider there with a kill as well. Cap Shot with 1. Agent with 1. Raw with 2. R1 starting to get some time here. This tick moving relatively quickly. 2 in for R1. This is what you needed. If you are R1, you need this fast start. That's 2 ticks in. 2 ticks in on that A. And they continue to gain the ticks. A Modify finally drops to Raw. Raw staying alive. Saffy can't find him. Or Cod Bob can't find Raw. Raw with another. Agent gets taken down. But that is A capped. R1 off to a fast start here for map 3. Raw on a killing spree. He's not going down. Modify finally shuts him down. Cap Shot takes down Cod Bob from up top. Modify trying to get in the back here. Trying to cause some havoc. He does get it, and that is Poppy in the back holding off for New Mexico. B started to get a little bit of time, but not able to get a whole lot moving. Cod Bob and Saffy both in the kill feed, taking down 3. Poppy adds a 4th to that tally here. Spider taking down Pappy. A Modify taking down Agent. 1 for 1 here. 15 to go on both sides. 13 for R1. 15 for New Mexico. New Mexico trying to play their lives here. Cod Bob trying, or Saffy trying to get herself back in on this map. 0-4 right now out of her. But can't count her out yet. She's had a couple of good maps here already. Get some shots in. Has to pack up. She is out of ammo on her AR, but New Mexico holding strong on this B point. 14-8. Holding the easier site, I would say, for defense. Saffy goes down again. 4 in the feed. New Mexico all coming off spawn. 8-10. You just have to 4-stack this point, and you cap B it relatively quickly. They are going to 3-stack it. So point B going relatively quick. Already almost at 2. But contest does come in. The contest, but the second tick is in. That is 5 ticks at this point for your boys on R1. Having to try to get back across the map as they are being taken down 1 by 1. Spider with the kill though. It was Cap Shot there to help. Cod Bob taken down. New Mexico out of respawns, R1 out of respawns, but all 6 caps do come in for R1 Gaming as they are able to close out round 1. If you are New Mexico, you have to match it. If you want defense for round number 5. Because at this point, you're down 6 ticks. So unless you can finish this in a 3-1 fashion, you end up on offense in map or in round 5. So, but you do have that map cushion or 2-map cushion if you are on the side of New Mexico. Not a complete bust if you lose this map, but you do possibly lose the momentum. R1 going to be doing an interesting break here as they are sending 2 down that P3 side. Capshot and Agent both coming together for a kill. Emotify with 2. Emotify doing everything right now for his boys in red. Pappy with 1 with a spider. Both are just fighting back and forth. Raw goes down. Agent goes down. That is at least 2 on that A side. Safi on this B side by herself. Just absolutely shredding. On. That's 2 ticks in already. 1 on either zone. I don't think they're paying attention that B is getting capped like right under their nose. I think they finally realized it after the tick went in. But you have 2 New Mexico Slaughter players already pushed up on this B side. That's a kill. They're finally pushing into the spawn. Spider drops 2. Spider having to stay alive back here. P2 side. Spider gonna get top useless. As it is 2 ticks to 6, 18 to 21. R1 in the lead on the kill feed. Raw on a 5 spray right now. Pushing out towards this B zone. Vault looking like R1's map. As Pappy and Emotify both combined for 1. But at 16 to 19, you're stuck in your spawn. Nothing is being capped right now for New Mexico. They're having to stay alive, and it's just not working. Raw and Spider both tearing these guys apart right now in their spawn. Raw gets another 16 and 6 for the man. He is not wanting to lose another map. Raw pushing everything he's got into this map, putting it all on the line. New Mexico has to jump on a site here if they want this time to extend, but it's just not working. That is only 3 ticks in. They only have half the ticks that R1 has had. Emotify combines for 2 here. Emotify looking for a 3rd. But so Safi there for the help. 2 and 13. They're trying to get to this B point. That is B cap. The time is extended. There's 1 on A. There's 1 on A. The time is still extended. Don't need that much. They're still on it. Spider gets taken down. A is still getting capped. New Mexico. They could pull it. What just happened? What just happened? Huh? New Mexico just pulled the hat out of the rabbit. 1 in 1. Where? How? That was confusing. R1 had full control of that A site. Gives up B first and then turns around and gives up A as well. We are tied 6 ticks to 6 ticks. I'm confused. What just happened? Where was the breakdown? R1 having to figure this out on the attack now. Cannot go down 2 rounds to 1. Because that puts all the pressure on you at that point. Capshot with 2, Spider with 1. That is 3 in the feed. If you are R1, that's what you need. But right now, excuse me, 2 in the feed, 4 R1, Spider taking down 2, Raw and 1 other hopping on this B point, trying to do the exact thing that New Mexico did to them. Right now, it is working in their favor. R1, though, having a little bit of trouble. The gunfight goes in Codbob's favor. Raw, top art, does get taken down, though, by Pappy, who I think actually Raw pushed out trying to help. Unfortunately, not going to go in his favor. Spider gets taken down as well. 2 on A. R1 capping A relatively quickly. Codbob only one there. A cap shot drops everybody off that hill. Raw was the only other one alive. A is capped. All down to B here, 21-18 in life count. But if you remember from the first round, R1 able to cap B relatively quickly once they did gain a little bit of a foothold here. And it looks like it's going to happen again. 19-17 here for New Mexico. Down only 2 lives. Raw 20-19, trying to keep his team in it. He's going to go down for a 10th time finally. But New Mexico right now in control of this B side. The continue to happen as everyone's spawning useless right now. And the spawns continue to flood in here for R1, 14-15. So the life count has jumped into New Mexico's favor. The kills continue to come in for the side of New Mexico. 14-12. And Emotify with a huge kill on Agent, who is trying to get through this mid side. New Mexico has the setup on B. R1 trying to get the pinch here so they can get a little bit of time. Spider not able to get anything. Raw not able to get anything. Cap shot falling as well. Agent, the only one left alive, does end up falling. That is 4 in the feed. It's 13-7 right now in favor of New Mexico. Trying to push this to a 2-1 hold for the boys in red. Safi up top trying to do everything she can to keep these guys pinned. Cobb Bob 31-12 out of the man, trying to make this his map. New Mexico pushing up, trying to hold this mid control. R1 not able to get past that 50-yard line without dying. Not long after gaining some kind of control. Number 2 is in the back though. Cap shot trying to gain some kind of control. They lost him back. Art, he's going to get up top. 3 lives to 10. You have to jump this hill if you are R1. It's the only way to stop this time and the bleeding. 9-3, but that unfortunately Emotify does catch Agent. Spider and Capshot's last 2 alive. You cannot die. Spider unfortunately does go down. Is only the one left V5. You have to win this. Not gonna happen. New Mexico 2-1, 1 round away from ending this series in a 3-0 and taking New Mexico to the losers finals. Capshot was trying to do it all, same with Spider and Raw. Just not able to finish that round out, only needed the 1 tick, but they did only miss it by a tick. So you have to get 5, at least, if you are New Mexico, if you want to keep defense on your side, because by slays right now, you are ahead if you are on New Mexico. So if you get 5 ticks, you get defense. If you don't, well, unfortunately, it's over. Because R1 has been very strong on the defense, but New Mexico are all going to hop this A point. Tick is already in for New Mexico. That second tick already coming in relatively quickly here. New Mexico not wasting any time trying to cap this relatively fast. B is going to be the last thing up. A secured. New Mexico hasn't lost a body yet. 24-30. Capshot pushing in. Raw finally in the feed. Capshot in the feed as well. Trying to stay alive back spawn. Gets naded out. Spider trying to find this guy. Back P4. Not going to find him in time. Emotify with the kill. They're pushed up. They're on B already. Cod Bob with 1. Emotify in the feed with him. That's 3 dead. Right now R1 has got to push this point. Raw. A little bit of a windmill there, but ends up getting a couple tags. Doesn't get the kill. Spider with 2. Capshot with 1 as well. Modify gets the trade onto Spider. I don't know that it's enough, though. Don't know that it's enough out of R1 until that little break happens. 4 up. A little bit of a reset here finally for R1 to try to get pushed up on this map. Raw gets 1. Capshot with, or Spider with 1. Raw with another. 4 dead in the feed. Unfortunately, though, one of them is a team kill for Raw onto Capshot. That car blew up as Capshot was pushing up. Pappy on the hill. Spider goes down. Pappy goes down. Raw with another. 2 in the feed for R1, which is good. Fortunately, though, Emotify does drop Capshot. It's down to a 11v19. You need at least 1 more tick if you are New Mexico to try to gain that defense back for map or round 5. But Cobb Bob and Emotify both coming up with kills in the kill feed. Emotify or Pappy dropping 1. Emotify with 1 as well. That's 3 dead in the feed. You can't go 4 dead. You can't go 4 dead. And it is over, everybody. Just in the nick of time. New Mexico able to get 4 on 3, 1, 3, 0 in the series. New Mexico, Modify dropped 45 and 15. Man was absolutely on fire this game as they take down R1 Gaming 3-0. R1 having everything put into it by Raw and Spider. Capshot and company just not able to get it turned around. Raw and Spider needing a little bit more help on that backside, not able to get it. GG's in the chat for everybody, guys. That's going to do it for me here in the loser semis. Congratulations on the 4th place finish if you are R1. But we will see New Mexico versus Seattle for the losers finals. Hope to see you guys there.